I'm sorry. They just kind of sprung it in. Get the off my bus. Take off.
One of the most interesting moments is when Lynch states that he would eat human flesh.
Do I even need to say anything?
Although the art should usually be separated from the artist when it comes to legal proceedings, this was difficult in Melly's case because his most popular song was titled Murder on My Mind.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm BSJ, and this is the Mimesis Lens, where we don't just react to content, but we break it down through culture analysis. Here we like to examine how identity is constructed, how fame shapes desire, and how the industry crafts or scripts behaviors. So if you're tired of consuming culture passively, you're in the right place. Let's observe. Just so you know, this was back in 1999, it says, so pay attention to what he's talking about here in just a moment. And there it was. You all saw the Matrix. Yeah, I think he knows something. All right, so for that one, Prince, obviously ahead of his time, always been with the music, with his business, with how he articulates himself. Here, we can see that he's warning us about kind of the era that we're in today. This is 1999, so 27 years ago at this point. What he's got to say is pretty relevant for today because he says you can get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. That's all we have around us nowadays. He had enough insight to see that. So yeah, that's just a way, that we can kind of connect to what an artist has to say about how we see the culture in the future. So that's just one of them. Let's move on. All right, real quick, before we get into this next one, knowing what we know today after the release of some recent data drops that came out, knowing what we know about that compared to this next interview, wild.
In the building, throw your motherfucking hands in the air right now. Put your hands in the air right now. Yeah? Okay. I have ideas that can make the human race existence within our 100 years better. Period. The paparazzi, whatever perception you have of me, starting with the truth, starting with what everyone's thinking. Start there, put some dope with it. Somebody's got to just plant both of their feet and say, nah, that. People can be who they are.
Yeah.
What's that, are you?
So knowing what we know now about Kanye and the industry, do you think he's being genuine here? Do you think he's being as authentic and true as self? I personally think that he's always tried to maintain his true and authentic self, which is why a lot of people find him either outrageous or crazy or offensive, but he's just speaking from his own personal experience and the truth that he is able to hold from that viewpoint. But here, what I'm trying to get at is, as far as what we know about the industry, how they're pushed into certain agendas, how they need to push a certain agendas once they're at a certain level. At this stage in the interview, where he's at in his career, do you think that he has been exposed to those things yet and he's just kind of trying to bring in a little bit of that and like, hey, I got some better ideas for the world? Or do you think he's not into any of that yet, doesn't know about any of that yet, and he's just like, hey, I got some ideas that's going to make the world better? So let's pay attention to see how his body language is, where his eyes move to, if he's tapping his hands or his knees. Let's pay attention a little bit.
You're not allowed to say that?
About that a little longer?
What's the point of thinking? Rakim said, it ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it and make sure it's broke. That's what I was raised on. Rakim, Fife Dog, hip hop, expression, hip hop. Started out in the park. Now everybody's trying to charge. I don't give a how much you sold. If you playing on radio, are you connecting? Picasso is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living. Most, I'm sorry, daytime television. I'm sorry for the realness.
I'd say a little bit. He might know. You know, right here, he does look like he's tweaking out a little bit. His facial expression's a little bit more eccentric, a little bit more manic. But again, you know, maybe he's just aware of some stuff that he can't say, and he's just like, hey, pay attention really closely to what I'm saying because I'm saying it.
All right, Kanye, give us 3 things that are hairy.
Balls, balls, balls.
3 things that get you in trouble with your spouse.
The internet.
Things you do when no one is looking.
Smile.
Three things.
What do you think about that one? Leave some comments below. We can talk about it. Old Kanye versus Kanye today. Pre-2020 Kanye, post-2020 Kanye. What do you think about Ellen? Where's she at lately? Kind of interesting, huh? Let's observe a little bit more. All right, so the next one we have is labeled 4 disturbing interviews with musicians. We're going to go over these one musician at a time. We'll see what we can figure out, what they're alluding to, and if there's anything that we can decode from it.
And what do you think made it happen?
It was meant to happen. Nancy always said she'd die before she was 21.
What would you like to happen now over the next, say, year or 2?
I'd like to have fun.
What sort of fun?
Any kind of fun, just fun. That's my object in life.
Where would you like to be?
So right away we can see some major disassociation happening, staring off into space, really monotone, not very present, obviously riddled with internal thought, doesn't know whether that internal thought is animosity or it's guilt or it's anxiety or something else. We can clearly see that he is not present during the interview. Maybe the industry back then, what we're knowing about it, had a little bit of play into it. As we see on repeat, a lot of the popular musicians, rock stars, pop icons have suffered with the addiction or substance abuse, maybe simply due to not only the pressures that they're under, but because of the secrets that they have to keep.
Brother Lynch Hung is one of the highest selling rappers in the horrorcore genre of hip-hop. He tends to take it to a new level with his lyrics and shocking imagery, and while he's relatively calm in most of his interviews, he's also quite graphic there as well, and will candidly talk about his shocking image and his insane life. Over on Vlad TV, Lynch talked about a myriad of interesting topics from his time in the Crips to his history with gangs. One of the most interesting moments is when Lynch states that he would eat human food if he saw it cooked. This is bizarre in itself, but what makes it more interesting is that he has actually rapped from the perspective of a cannibal.
Do I even need to say anything?
On numerous occasions. His last album was actually called Hannibal Lecter, and even though this was a small part of a much larger, more interesting interview, this confession that he would eat if it was presented to him properly ties in very well with the insane character that he has created in his music.
I love meat. You know what I mean? That's my favorite food. And if you cook anything, I'll try it. Whether it be any kind of meat you could think of, put it that way. Any kind.
That's that.
Yeah, any kind.
So you're saying that if someone cooked up some human for you, you would try it out?
Most definitely with some seasoning salt.
Not even sure what to say on that one. It's right in front of us. Again, been there the whole time.
Have you ever actually tried human before?
No.
Okay. but you would actually try it if we had a.
See, a little bit of something that I would pay attention to is the little mouth movements, the gulping there. Maybe he's hiding something. Maybe he's just nervous about being asked a question that's so outrageous. But either way, pay attention.
You know, a human burger in the other room right now, you would go check it out.
Yeah, I'd have to see you cook it.
Okay.
Number 3. YNW Melly is a 21-year-old rapper who, in February of 2019, was charged with killing 2 of his close friends. He pleaded not guilty, and there is currently an ongoing court trial.
Just has those wicked eyes right off the bat. Just sinister. I don't like that.
To determine what happened. Although the art should usually be separated from the artist when it comes to legal proceedings, this was difficult in Melly's case because his most popular song was titled Murder on My Mind, and although it was released a year and a half before the alleged crime, it didn't stop people from connecting this song with the case, which arguably made his situation worse, but also propelled the song to going 4 times platinum, and it also landed on number 14 of the Billboard Top 100. Obviously, a lot of eyes were on Melly, and this song in particular, and there was one video that a lot of people turned to. The YouTube channel and publication known as Genius did a lyrical breakdown of the song with Melly, and in this video, he talks about his split personalities, his obsession with guns, and his violent tendencies. He also
Okay, so right there, they just said it. We're just going to talk about that real quick. Split personalities, DID, multiple personality disorder, dissociative identity disorder. Knowing what we know again about some recent data drops that happened a couple weeks ago, we know that they were trying to invoke psychic trauma on people to be able to create frequencies and energies that they can use to control and manipulate more of us, which is why we're here. We're tired of being manipulated. We're tired of just consuming this stuff passively. So we're going to pay really close attention and observe what we're seeing. We're going to study the patterns. We're going to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes here. And so he just said his multiple personalities. He might have done something that he didn't know he was doing in a different mental state or personality that he was experiencing. And DID is pretty interesting if you dig into it, figure out the cause and the root cause of it, how it's formed and how it developed over time. Again, with the industry, something super tragic, such as violence and the M word, unaliving people, is commonplace. Well, that psychic trauma is going to carry over and manifest in other places. So, maybe MK Ultra, maybe not. Maybe his music is trying to MK Ultra, and he just has a story that he has to sell. A lot of things to it. Leave your comments below. How do we break down this one? What do we think about this one?
also essentially says that this song is not a confession, but given the context, this is a surreal interview, and it's almost hard to believe it exists. It achieved around 12 million views, and it's one of the most watched Genius interviews ever given, while his performance of the song is the most viewed video on the Genius YouTube channel.
I found my first gun when I was 9 years old, bro. Ever since then, growing up, I was so addicted to them bitches. I loved them bitches. Melvin, my other person inside, Melvin, that motherfucker, every day, all day. That's all you be thinking about. Shit, some people think about pussy when they wake up. Some people think about shoes. Some people think about weird. They wake up with the murder on his mind. And I'm like, hey, bro, do you?
Perfect example of causing psychic trauma on a generation and then having an icon promote it with getting that much push, 12 million plays or 12 million views. A lot of young kids looking to that as an idol, in reverse causing that psychic pain that they're experiencing as that culture or generation. It's really stuff to think about. We're going to get more and more into this. We're going to do this with movies, with interviews, with musicians, with songs. So yeah, this is just the beginning. I appreciate you sticking around. Just in case you haven't hit the like button or subscribed yet, that's going to help out the channel a lot. Let's get on to the next one.
Number 4. Gall is a Norwegian musician who came to prominence as the frontman of the black metal band known as Gorgoroth. He is an interesting, outspoken character who on rare occasion has given a number of bizarre interviews talking about his beliefs, his artistry, and black metal in general, after it was blamed for a number of church burnings across Scandinavia and Europe. Gall spoke about this and the idea of Satanism in black metal in an interview in 2005. It was featured in the documentary known as Metal, A Headbanger's Journey, and it caught the eye of many people for how candid and honest it was. It also reportedly led to an investigation on Gall because in this interview, he supported these church burnings. Obviously, that doesn't mean he was a part of these acts, but it was an interesting interview nonetheless because of how straightforward and raw he was in this clip.
All right, I want to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Amundsen Audio. Amundsen Audio has how to index their music properly to get it prepared for a sync catalog. Let's jump over to the site real quick. All right, so here with Amundsen Audio, you can see some of the programs they have available. They do have a music licensing toolkit and index for artists and creators. We're going to go break down a little bit more specifically this book here. This is the one that I'm a big fan of. This is the music licensing toolkit and index for artists and creators. This is a comprehensive toolkit, and it breaks down the myriad of music licensing in a fun, approachable way. So whether you're an independent artist releasing a cover song, a YouTuber looking for background music, or a professional managing a catalog, understanding these licenses will help you protect your work and maximize your revenue. So we'll cover each license type in real-world examples, common pitfalls to avoid, and best practices, as well as it comes with a handy checklist. We'll also touch on ethical considerations through case studies and provide a mini guide on branding and UX for turning this into a digital resource. And since you're watching today's video, you can use the coupon code 10OFF to get 10% off of your first purchase. That's 10OFF, 10OFF, to get 10% off of your first purchase through Amundsen Audio. Again, want to thank today's sponsor, Amundsen Audio. Make sure you go check it out at amundsenaudio.com. Now let's get back to the program.
Explain myself to anybody, and I ain't gonna really bother. Now, I was asked here, right, to interview with the band here, Pill, but now, like, we're facing a cheapskate comedy interrogation act, and it just ain't on, pal. It's a joke. It's a farce.
You mean you don't want to give any messages to
I don't have to explain myself. Sooner or later, somebody will open their eyes. Oh, sorry, rude word.
Well, it sounds like we've heard this story before.
Really? Would you like to tell me where? Good night.
Good night.
Will I continue?
Well, that's up to you entirely. Do you all follow the leader?
Why don't you try answering an intelligent question? Try and think of one.
Tell you what.
Have you ever asked one in your life?
Let's forget about it all.
Right.
Yeah, I think you should.
No, that is total cop-out.
Cop-out.
Now, one more thing, you write a lot, and
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. You can't blame them. You get asked the same questions day after day after day after day, and these reporters and these interviewers know that pretty commonplace, especially when they're the ones asking the same questions interview after artist after artist. So for real, let's come up with some new questions. We got a couple more here.
well, we know that you're a publicist as well. How will your diary of today look like?
We came and played our guts out, and then I had to do this interview when I should have been able to be left alone so I could breathe hard.
I'm sorry for that.
That's okay.
Okay. We'll see you later on then.
Okay.
So do you know what's the meaning of your music and all that stuff?
Each song means something different, and we have no really huge meaning or self-defining sort of thing. We're just kind of living our life and doing that kind of thing.
I think we just lost one of our interviews.
Yeah, there it goes.
I'm down with OPP, you know.
Me.
Yeah, you know, you're down with it, number 3.
Is it a band called that?
Well, you know, Naughty by
Nature.
Naughty by Nature, number 3 is rocking now.
What do you want, man?
Naughty by Nature. There is a tribute band. Where's number 3 going?
He's leaving.
No, he can't leave right now. Number 3. Number 3. Number 3 has definitely left the building.
What kind of stuff you do for fun? Are you doing anything weird?
I wake up, go to breakfast, go to a gym.
Come on.
I swear, I do it every morning.
Nothing
I'm not going to tell you any of the negative shit I do.
No, I
Are
don't
you
mean
crazy?
negative. I mean you dress like a monkey and swing from stuff, do you?
God, no. What are you talking about?
Why would he dress like a monkey, Holmes, and swing from anything?
I don't know. Why wouldn't he?
Man, you're an idiot.
Oh, man, don't be a dick. I'm sorry, they just kind of sprung it in.
Off my bus.
Take off.
Idiot.
No, you can't.
You don't understand, Prince. I have wanted to make love to you for my whole life. I'm sorry. Now he's sleeping.
You're scared.
I'd have done the same thing. Did you hear what she said? Are you going to react to that?
That was good. Yeah, that's right.
Who's also here?
Do you feel, oh, I don't need those other two, I can knock out something like
There
that?
was a lot of ego problems at the time, and I can't even remember
we had
why.
one at the same time called Don't Forget to Remember, which was interesting. I've forgotten that one. But,
Yes, of course you might.
yeah, no, of course. We're getting on like a storm, aren't we, Clive? Yes.
In fact, I might just leave.
Yeah. Oh, I've never had anyone walk out before, but...
Well, we are. Toss up, pal.
So anyway... everybody.
Setup.
Oh, well, I guess I better join them. Well, you can stay and just... Well, I'd love to, but I don't do impressions. Yeah.
I went to Truth or Dare with Kurt, and we were leaving, he goes, "That's you." So when we were first going out.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the line where Warren says, "Well, what doesn't belong on camera?" Right?
Okay, Madonna's running off. She's going to be going. Thank you very much.
No, I interrupted you. I'm going to leave.
No, it's okay.
I feel like a pig.
No, go
I was
ahead.
pulling my
I'm going to
Mac
leave you
up here.
too.
I ruined my Mac compact.
And,
Well, it's all ended well.
There we saw a lot of people, they were just walking out, so they must have been asked ridiculous questions. They didn't want to respond to that. What I did notice, however, was that each artist, when they're being asked the questions, they were nice at first. They were like, "Hey, I'm not really down for this. Can we move on? Can we not talk about that subject, or can we try and make it a little bit more original, a little more genuine?" And they at least gave one or two gestures of, "Hey, let's move on." And each time in the interviewee just ignored it, kept pressing on what they were originally trying to ask. A lot of artists just aren't going to put up with that. So let me know what you've walked out. What kind of questions have you ever walked out of an interview for either a job or for radio or any type of interview? Have you ever walked out on one? Let me know below.
Do you think that Skid Row, Monkey Business, or 8 to Your Life sounds like Poison? Take that as an insult.
But it's hard music, right? And you shared a lot of the same fans.
Poison is hard music?
You shared a lot of the same fans,
Did you
man.
see Pantera open up for us?
Yes, I
did.
did.
Do you think
And the Killer
Pantera
Dwarfs
played with
tour.
Skid Row?
No, but
Pantera
it's the
never
same
went on tour
fans,
with
though,
Poison.
because you shared a lot of the same
agree.
fans.
I don't
Of course you
agree.
did, man. There's a lot of people went and saw Poison and Skid Row.
This is over. This.
You don't think you share the same fans?
I don't care. I'm on Broadway. I don't want to talk about Poison. All right?
All right, man. That's cool.
Bye.
Yet Bach isn't the only rock star who doesn't like being compared to Poison, as a local news reporter once provoked Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx by bringing up Poison during an on-air segment, exacerbating Sixx's ongoing feud with Poison frontman Bret Michaels.
Who rocked harder in the 80s, Motley Crue or Poison? Who? Thanks for joining us. What an asshole. Oh, gotta bleep that one.
Thank you, guys.
Queen guitarist Brian May would similarly lose his temper during an interview with a Dutch TV station. To begin with, they encountered May in a foul mood, a fact he made very clear as soon as the interview began.
Yeah, I would not be doing this out of choice. I just don't want to disappoint you guys, that's all. I mean, really, I need to sleep.
Things completely fell apart when the reporter attempted to show May footage of local students performing their own rendition of a Queen song. Unfortunately, the tape malfunctioned, prompting the following exasperated response from May.
Listen, do you want to do an interview about the show or what we're doing? Because this is really wasting time.
Okay.
You know, I'm sorry to be difficult, but, you know, we're all trying to do as much as we can here. You sure you want to do this?
Let me just ask, to be honest to you, your manager also told me this, but I'm very much upfront.
Listen, we have like 3 minutes left. If you
Okay.
want to do an interview, but I don't want to be watching bits of tape. It's ridiculous. Look, I'm sorry.
Can't blame him for that one. He was really nice, like I said in the last comment. He was letting them know over and over, and they just kept pressing. They just ignored what was being said from the artist and just kept pushing their own questions and agenda. You know, and that makes you go back to the industry, where there's different facets and markets of the industry. And as the artists, they're pushing tours and ticket sales and merch and alcohol sales at the venue. And the reporters and the TV crew and the news reporters and the radio stations and the interviewers, they're looking at it as in that's their market, their job is to be getting as much as they can out of an artist within 5 to 10 minutes of interviewing them. And so they're going to ask all these generic questions that I guess maybe a broad audience might want to know. But a lot of the times they're just such basic questions, like what does your music stand for? When are you going to be putting out your next album? And these are all things that artists, they think about, but they're not here to like tell you all of that. They're there to live the experience and give you the show. The managers and the marketing teams and engineers are all the ones ones that compose all of that. So again, so many facets in the entertainment industry. The music industry is just one small section, well, one very large section of it, and then all of the moving parts within that. So this is really fun. I really like doing these interviews. If you're enjoying them, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and let the algorithm know that you're enjoying it too. And leave me a comment below. I want to get back to commenting on some of your guys' posts. So.
Now, you thought Alice Cooper was weird. You thought Alice Cooper was out at the edge. Wait till you see this man, Marilyn Manson, 28 years old. His name is an amalgam of Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson, his two great opposites, you see. His band members are named after serial killers. In the United States Senate, they're trying to have him banned. They're so disturbed by him. Young people flock to see him all around the world. He's a shock rocker. He calls himself the Antichrist superstar. He invites the audience to spit on him, or has done in the past, of chickens and blood everywhere on the stage. Marilyn Manson had a very interesting upbringing, very religious upbringing. He went to a Christian school. He got beaten up in the neighbourhood for going there. Then he went to a normal school, which he wanted, and then he got hell in the neighbourhood for having gone to the Bible school. The Christian imagery, he says, gave him nightmares as a child. He describes his childhood as one of isolation and fear. And I met him today at an old graveyard.
Spent this past summer, yeah.
That's right, and you dug up, you went robbing graves there. Did you rob graves there?
We didn't rob them. See, in New Orleans, the ground is very deteriorated, so you just find bones sticking out of it. So we just plucked them. So we didn't actually rob them.
So should mums and dads be worried about you?
I think the best thing that could happen is if parents are afraid of me, they will take more time to raise their children to be more intelligent so that they can decide whether or not and how music, art, and film is going to affect their lives.
If that isn't one of the most powerful things coming from artists themselves, right out of their own mouth, he's saying it. If you can't discern what I'm saying from truth and reality, if you can't discern what I'm promoting from what the actual truth should be, which is why, again, we're back on this channel, we're observing, decoding, trying to figure out and spot the patterns, and the more that we do this together, the more we're going to get better at it. So this is just how we practice that muscle. Pretty interesting though, Marilyn Manson, I was a big fan growing up, seen him a couple times in concert. I've never looked up to idols, I've never looked up to rock stars or superstars or presidents or anything like that. There's only one authority to look up to, and that's it.
You know, you up there playing, women are dancing, going crazy, throwing themselves at you, trying to meet you backstage. What do you think of these women?
Well, it's odd to me because this is my job. I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to pay my phone bill and, you know, pay the rent. If they want to throw themselves at me, well, that's their business.
And do you take them up on it? Do you sleep with some of them? Have sex with some
I'm
of
going to have to take the Fifth Amendment on that. Yeah. My mother's going to be watching this, so I have to watch what I say.
Okay.
What do you want to reach with this noise? Do you want to spread aggression?
No, not really. Just want to make some sounds that maybe people might not hear the rest of the day.
What is so attractive?
All these artists are saying the same things. They're just saying, listen to my music. I make the music, I make the art, I'm appreciative that I have an audience to follow. Why are you asking me all these questions when you just have to listen to my music and you can understand what's really being said? Here we're just trying to spot the culture, observe what's happening, and see if we can figure out what's really going on here.
To making this sound?
It's fun. It's like a little kid with a really big toy.
Okay, it's fun, but it's so loud.
Why, are you saying you don't like it?
Yeah, well, I like it.
No, come on. Don't. He's lying to you people. He's lying.
Well, no. I like some parts of it, but it's so loud all over. It's constantly loud.
I know. Can you believe it?
Does this guy get on your nerves sometimes?
Never.
Really?
Thank you.
What's a blurry face?
I'll correct you, and then I won't answer the question.
All right. Who is blurry face? Let's be serious for a second.
Who is blurry face?
Yes.
I don't feel like answering it.
Okay.
It's just too complex. It's too deep.
Okay.
You're sitting on a table.
I mean, I could do more on the table.
I've been with the USO for almost 5 years, and the war I don't like, of course, but the troops I like very much.
That's what I find interesting.
Yeah.
For someone who's so
outspoken about the war and about George Bush that they would ask you to go and perform in front of the troops. You must have been petrified.
No.
That they would turn, they would go, there he is, let's get him.
No. A lot of soldiers you meet, they go, well, sir, you know, I support our president. I know you don't, but you support us, and that's great. And I do. I like them, but this war, you know, no one likes war. And in America, you'll find a lot of people don't appreciate the president, but they like the troops, because troops don't start wars. Kings and leaders do.
Tell me seriously.
Shock people. I don't give a shit what you think. I know what I think, and that's all that counts to me. I don't try and impress anybody but myself.
Why all the fuss then? Why dress up? Why infamous language?
Dress up what?
Dye your hair?
So what? Am I not entitled to do what I want with my own body? I think I am. That's all that counts.
Why do we
Being left alone. Just leave me alone, you know what I mean?
Killswitch Engage, on a serious note, what does this band mean to you? Why are you guys still relevant after, what, 10 years, isn't it? Like 13. 13 years. That is impressive, dude. How? What's the secret?
I have no idea. I think, if nothing else, maybe just because the band really cares about what they do and it's an honest form of expression. And our fans are awesome.
Yeah.
That's probably it, man.
So you guys really give a shit?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is it necessary to get your message across to use that kind of language? Is it you use the sexual imagery, you use the shocking physical appearance, you've done some bizarre things on stage, and you use profanity? All of that necessary?
Sometimes. I think sometimes when you're making a point, I don't think that my lyrics are overlaced with profanity, because I myself don't speak using a lot of profanity in normal conversation. But I think when you're making something aggressive and you need to get a point across, if you're angry, sometimes profanity is necessary. It's better to use a curse word than to hurt somebody.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up right there. I appreciate everybody that stuck around until the end. We'll be making more of these pretty shortly. In the meantime, smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time that we want to observe.